Hey Crusaders, today I am going to try to get my thoughts together enough to do a Nightrunners series review. Now, every time I try and talk about this series, I just can't manage it, so let's see how this goes. So it's pretty safe to say that I love this series. I can pretty much read it anywhere. That's me, yep, I am that cool, just no shame. And I have been reading it for around about a year. I started the first book in the summer, in August, and I finished the last book in June, so not too bad. I paced it nicely, I think. So I guess I will show off the books to you now. The first book is Look in the Shadows. And we have Stalking Darkness, Traitor's Moon, Shadows Return, White Road, Casket of Souls, and Shards of Time. So that is a 7-book series, and I don't think that Lynn Flewelling is making any more. There is a short story collection that is currently whizzing its way to be in the mail, and if she does any more short story collections in the future, then that would be fantastic. But she has also written the Tamia Triad that I have now bought and intend to read soon, and sure she's planning a new series. Let's hope she's planning a new series. Lynn Flewelling never stopped writing books. So first off, what is this series even about? Well, in Look in the Shadows, Alec of Kerry gets locked in a cell for a crime that he hasn't committed. I think he's mistaken for it. He's certain he's going to die, but then this mysterious man, real name Serigol, also gets locked in the cell and then helps him escape. Serigol takes Alec on as his apprentice, and the two of them soon find that they're caught in the middle of a rather sinister plot, and Alec has to race against time to save Serigol's life. That is just the beginning bit, so I'm not giving anything away there. They get into lots and lots of adventures, these guys do, and they're great. Magic is very prominent in this series. In Look in the Shadows we meet Nazander, who is a pretty epic wizard. He tried to train Serigol, but didn't go so well really. But yeah, there's a lot of magic. As well as backstreet running around and thieving, there's also the life of the nobles and parties. Now what's the key to Serigol is that he manages to fit in with both, and it's fantastic. I mean, I'm going to say that a lot, but everything about this book is fantastic and you should read it. And that's basically what I'm going to be saying throughout this entire series review. Who would like this series? Well, I say that if you like some of these things I'm going to list, then you'll probably like this series. Fantasy, adventure, it's a very adventure-based fantasy. High fantasy as well, because it's got a lot of magic elements in it. You're going to love the cast of warm and lovely characters, real characters that you get attached to. If you like a book with a lovely character, then this is a great series. Also side characters who just come into more importance and also just you grow to love as well. Also, there are LGBT elements in this book. Bisexuality is quite commonplace and it's not seen as a problem, which of course it isn't. It's just a natural thing. It's just part of the world. There are also great women. I feel like I shouldn't have to mention that a book has great women, because all books should have great women, but they don't. But this book does, because women are just as important as men in this world. In fact, the royal line is matriarchal and it passes down from queen to queen, which is amazing. But also, what else are there? Woman wizards, mums, there are whores, and there are also really evil women villains, just like real life, eh? I just feel so good that the women and the men are equal, even and especially in the army. It also has fantastic pacing. It doesn't drag anything out. It's really fun and fast and keeps you going, but it's not too fast. It doesn't go bum bum bum. It just goes very nicely, and it's a lot of fun. And if you like any of those things and you think this is the series for you, then this is probably the series for you. What am I doing? But Victoria, a 7-book series is a pretty big commitment. Ahaha, wrong you are! This isn't a big commitment at all. This is not a series that you have to read the whole 7 books to get the whole big picture and the whole story. These are more like little stories in themselves. Of course I'd say read them in order. You get more development, you get more backstories, you get the whole series. But I feel like some of these books would work well on their own too, you know, if you didn't want to bother with the backstory as much. But that is not what I'm saying you should do at all. I'm just saying that they really are that good and separate that you don't need to read all of them if you don't want to. Books 1 and 2 are a two-parter, so they wrap up each other's stories. Book 3 can be quite happily read on its own. It's a story in itself that follows on from the other two but is a different plot. Same characters though. Book 4 and 5 are also a two-parter. Book 6 can be read on its own, and book 7 is also one that wraps up on its own. But I would obviously suggest that if you want the whole story and the whole experience, then don't just read the first 2 books. Don't just read the first 3 books. Read all of the books, all 7 of them. Or read these books. My camera battery died and I had to take a bit of a break, so I feel like this might be in a slightly different place, and if it is, then I apologise. Anyway, last thing I wanted to say is which one in the series is my favourite. Hard to pick a favourite, but there are always a few that stand out in my mind. I love the story and the topic that's in 4 and 5 a lot, but I also really love the nobles in Casket of Souls, number 6. But I love them all so much that it really doesn't matter, and in fact I love this series so much that I want to reread it and will probably start doing that again soon. It's just so much fun. Maybe I'll always have it on the go and then I never need the Nightrunners series to end. So that is my series review. To sum it up, I really love this series a lot. Read this series. Thank you for watching, and until next time, look in the shadows guys, and in the light.